I think the dog track is actually what a lot of people associate with Walthamstow. You know, for years and years, if you said to somebody you were from Walthamstow, that was one of the things that so many people knew about Walthamstow, the dog track. So you know, it meant something to people. But I think it was a place where people could come out for a cheap night out, good entertainment, and a lot of jobs, you know, and mainly local people. You know, a lot of local people lost their jobs when this place shut down.
The dog track means that we've got a nationally recognised leisure facility that actually puts Walthamstow and Waltham Forest on the map. And the loss of that facility means that we've lost something that's unique to this borough, that actually is a signifier for other people around the country that this is where Walthamstow is and that it's got something to offer people.
I'd like to see it back, you know, and there are people who are seriously interested in doing that, in buying it back, turning it back into track and doing some development there as well, because you could put some other leisure facilities on that site. You might even be able to do a mix of housing and leisure, you know, and use parts of it for housing. But I don't see the whole lot just covered in housing.
I've been in meetings with London and Quadrant. I facilitated a meeting between London and Quadrant and Nick Budimer, who wants to put forward some plans. The idea I hoped would be that actually they'd allow Nick time to progress some plans, bring forward some ideas about how much money he's prepared to spend on it, and actually negotiate whether it's possible to bring something forward that's got leisure and housing.
They know that there are people who are prepared to make offers for the land, but what so far hasn't happened is any serious discussion about that. You know, and they seem to just want to keep putting off any discussion with the people who are interested in making offers. So talk to them is what I say.
London and Quadrant are saying that they haven't had information, and Nick Budimer is saying he's presented the information. I was at the initial meeting, and at the initial meeting, Nick had to produce evidence that he was a legal entity and that he had the finances. And he's saying that he's done that, and it's just the fact that it appears that there's some slow movement and slow progress being made. So I'm rather disappointed that these plans are being brought forward now before they've actually worked through, is there another option? It may be that there is no solution to bringing back the dog track. And if there is nothing that can be brought forward about returning the dog track, then we have to look at other options. But I don't think they've worked hard enough at progressing that idea first.
There's been one meeting that I was at, which was a very preliminary discussion. But what hasn't happened is a serious negotiation around price. And you know, if you're trying to buy something, you need to know what the price is and what the vendor is prepared to accept, and that's where we haven't got to.
What is the position of the council on
I can't speak for the position of the council. I can speak from my personal perspective and the perspective of my group. The perspective of my group is that we want to have local jobs in the area. We do want to have more leisure facilities, and it's almost like it's a final straw. We've lost theatres, we've got no arts facilities, we've got no cinema, and now we've got no dog track. And my big concern as a resident of this borough is the fact that we're just going to have lots and lots of housing, which is very needed, hardly any jobs, and hardly any leisure facilities. So although people may be able to live here, they have to go elsewhere to work and to play. And I think that's not the sort of borough that I want to be living in or representing. I want it to change. And I think we've got to make a stand and actually try and make sure that we do bring back leisure facilities to people.
I think at the moment the Housing Association are just sitting on this land and hoping that as the housing market comes out of recession, they will be able to develop. But of course they've still got to get the planning permission, and that's not necessarily going to be straightforward.
I would say to London and Quadrant that they should forestall, stop progressing these plans at the moment, and actually get down to have a meaningful discussion and meaningful dialogue with people that are prepared to bring forward other solutions.